Hello, this is Grievous Stefano, and you've clicked on my Tekken 7 guide to learning any character. Now immediately I apologise for the complete clickbait title, but what else am I going to call it really? So, just to inform you guys, this video is for complete new players, or around thereabouts. Players who have maybe just want to jump into Tekken, and they've never played a fighting game before, or they haven't tried to actually learn how to play a fighting game. So I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not a pro or anything. I got into fighting games about Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Mortal Kombat X, sort of thereabouts. I'm basically doing this because I'm looking on YouTube and I'm seeing all these pro level players, top tier players, trying to give, not all of them, but most of them are trying to teach their version of basics to new players, and a lot of them are completely forgetting about the actual basic. Like they can't put themselves in the mindset of opening a Tekken game for the first time because they're just past it. They can't understand, some of them, how a new player thinks when he first gets into a game and where they should start. So they skip a few things, and this is what I'm going to go over. Now the first thing you want to do when you open Tekken 7, if you actually plan on learning the game and getting good, now mind you, this is a steep learning curve you're going to have to get over. So if you're thinking about buying the game and you don't have time to put in hours of practice to get good basically, then I don't know, you're going to have to look at a more casual fighting game maybe. I mean, no shots fired, but Injustice 2's more casual friendly, and I think even Street Fighter 5 is pretty casual friendly. But other than that, this game is completely fine if you're a new player and you want to begin learning fighting games, so don't let that put you off. Now the first thing you're going to do is not go online or even play the abysmal story mode, but you want to go to the practice mode. So, step 1 in learning how to play any character is actually picking a character. So, what character should you pick if you're a new player? Well, it sounds dumb and cliche, but just pick whatever character you want to pick. There's no other simple explanation. And I'll go over the steps you can take in picking a character to make sure that you've picked a character you actually like, or a character you can even play, for that matter. So, just for this video, I'm gonna pick Asuka, if that's how you say her name, probably butchering it. And then, usually you'd pick your opponent just the same character as you, but that's a bit more advanced. We'll get into that later in a different video. But right now, I'm just gonna pick Heihachi, just for simplicity's sake. Alright, now, a good place to practice is one of these maps. Why this map's good? If you see in the bottom left, there is a blue square lit up, and this means it's an infinite stage, so it has no walls. It's pretty good for beginners practicing or testing combos and stuff. So we'll pick this map. And another thing, if you're picking a character and you want to look at tier lists, just be wary that tier lists mean absolute shit. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Every character in this game is viable, and some people are probably going to shoot me for saying that, but honestly, it's true. So anyways, getting right into it. The first thing you want to do in practice mode. Alright, I'm going to explain this really quick. So, when you open this menu, this is how it's going to look for you. You're going to have opponent action 1 stand, opponent action 2 not set. So this is how it's going to be. And why this is bad is, I'll explain right now. So I'll give you an example instantly. So I'm going to do this dumb combo, or I'm going to attempt to anyways, and alright, I'll just do it and you'll see. Okay, so that's 105 damage. Now you may be thinking, wow, 105 damage for one combo, that's insane, the game is broken. Well, not quite. So what you want to do, why this is dumb and this combo would never work, ever, don't ever try these kind of combos and practice them. Go here and pick guard all for action 2. Now what this means is, the first thing the CPU is going to go to is just standing, which, you know, he still takes damage. As you can see, he still gets hit. But watch me try this combo again, exact same combo. Now, he blocked it. Now why did he block it? Because it's not a true combo. Now what this true combo means is, the opponent can block halfway through your combo, or even right at the beginning it seems. So watch, he blocks the second hit. Now what that means is, this isn't viable, because if the enemy's holding back after you hit him, then you're just not going to land it. Alright, so more into that shortly. Okay, so I'll give you another example of a true string or a true combo. If you go into the moves list, you'll see these really basic punches, okay? So you might be wondering, well, what is a true combo? What is a true string? What links? What can you start off if you want to do some damage? Well, the really basics, here's an example, is 1-1-2, or 1-1, sorry. So he's blocking this. Now, if you ever want to get a combo out, you're usually going to have to use these moves called launchers to begin your combo. Usually, there's other ways to get around this. So a launcher would be like this, and then you can do whatever combo you like. And now 44 is like reasonable damage. It's okay. So this is what you want to be thinking about. But anyways, I'm kind of jumping ahead. I'm kind of doing what other teachers of Tekken 7 on YouTube do, which I should really stop. Alright, so ignore some of what I'm saying. I'm trying to jump back and forward from too many things. So anyways, now this is why I'm saying, if you want to get good, you're going to have to spend a lot, and I mean a lot of time in this practice mode. And a lot of people think it's too boring, so just be wary of that. Now the next thing you want to do, once you've set this to guard all and you understand true combos from useless combos, is, okay, you're at the top of the move list, press up. Now this brings you to the sample combos, which these are extra important. If you're not sure about a character and you want to find a character to play or to learn, this is the first place you need to go. Because what these are true combos which link. So these are several strings which are just moves. And a string of moves, so a string is like a move basically, or a combination of button presses that link up to form a combo. So you'll see from this, these are true combos because these can actually land. So you look at these and you try and perform them, and you can decide based on that whether the character feels right or doesn't feel right for you. And then based on that you can actually practice them and get good and learn the more advanced techniques. So this is the bare bone basics. So what you want to do is just learn these, honestly, and then you'll see if you're like, oh, I'm finding it really hard to do this combo, or I'm not getting it every time. Like you have to give it a good chance. Give it a fair chance first before you decide, and then you might even come back to the character. And as you can see, these give you decent damage. They're a good place to start. Later on, you're going to be coming up, I say coming up with your own combos, you're going to be figuring out your own combos, and if you find them too hard, you know, you'll find easier ones which do slightly less damage, or vice versa. But anyways, now I'm going to take you into the moves list again. So if, say, for instance, before I leave this topic, I try these sample combos. So I try a couple of them and blah blah blah, and I like the character, then cool, I'll just stick with this character, learn it. If you don't like it, then just quit. Go back to the character select menu and find another character and do the same again. Rinse and repeat until you find the character you're comfortable with. Other than that, sorry, I'm just blabbing on, but other than that, yeah, you're good. So say you play this character, you enjoy it, so what next? Well, next I'm going to show you the annotations. I should have showed you this before, honestly, but if you go into the moves list, it says X for help. So you press this and it'll show you the notation that the game uses. So as you can see, you've got press the D-pad in whatever direction, then you've got press and hold, and then you've got neutral and press quickly, all this stuff. Now this could have been done way better, but don't want to get into that. You see this bottom three, you've got a move that can absorb mid and high attacks. That's an armor move. You see that with the red? I'll show you an example in a sec. That's an armor move. So I'll show you an example. These are quite important because what they are is moves that can go through your enemy moves. So if you hit this move and your enemy hits you any amount of times, it doesn't matter, you can still land your hit. Now you do take damage, but here's an easy example of an armor move. Now you see that particle effect coming out the back of the character? That means it's armored. So quickly I'll show you. It's going to be quite hard to show, but honestly, if you're getting pressured a lot, these moves are pretty good for if your enemy's pressing tons of buttons, they're just coming at you and you can't do anything. This is one of the options you have. You just do this and it'll punch right through and give you some space. So yeah, keep these in mind. Take a note of these because they're quite useful. Anyways, on to the next notation. You've got these sidestep. Oh, so these are sweep abilities basically. So in 3D fighting games, you can go back and forward, and through this you can dodge like jabs. So if I jab and he dodges left or right, which by the way, double tap up or double tap down, and you do the sidestep, these sweep. So as you can see, it goes all the way around. So if he tries to sidestep that, it's going to hit him. These aren't as important, but they're okay. And you'll also see, finally, this green one. This is a corkscrew, they call it. Basically, when you get someone up in the air and you're juggling them, these moves are pretty good to use and link to launchers. Now, launchers are just moves that hit your enemies up in the air, but these, as you can see, sends them spinning down. So if I show you quickly, I'll show you a quick launcher and then back kick, and you can see it takes a while to hit the ground. So these can be quite good to link combos together with. Now that's for the notation, so keep an eye on these moves. You know, the moves list could be done better, they could show frame data and all that stuff, which you don't need to worry about just now. I'll get into frame data in another video, but they have some useful tips, and you know, they do tell you some stuff, so it's fine. Now, what's next? You've learnt the sample combos, you think they're good, but you want to learn or find your own combos. So, another thing about sample combos real quick, they are good for finding out what your launchers are, so like a good launcher. So as you can see, down forward 2, which is down forward triangle on PlayStation, down forward Y on Xbox 2, this is a good launcher. It's quick, as you can see, it's quick, gets them up a decent height, it's pretty decent. So as you can see, sample combos can tell you quite a lot. It can tell you about what moves link, and also, as you can see there, I did the entire combo, and the final string there is a good finisher. So this sample combo just told me two things. It told me a launcher, and it told me what a good finisher is, which is, well, I use forward 1-2, but you can also use forward 1-3, which I don't like as much, but it's good if they're lower to the ground. So as you can see, yeah, I won't get into it, but yeah, so these can tell you, like, these can give you hints to finding your own strings and combos and things like that. So there's other launchers, so as you can see, if you quickly look through, so one thing about this game is you're gonna have to go through a lot of moves, and also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, I might be suffering from dementia, but do not try these combos, and I'll show you exactly why. Sorry. Oops, it's while rising. Okay, I'll get into this is a while rising move, so I'll get into this in another video. This is a bit more advanced. Don't worry about this, but I'll show you this combo anyways. As you can see, he blocks it. Second or third hit. Yeah, third hit he blocks. So these combos are useless. Don't bother learning them. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Sorry for constantly clearing my throat, I'm talking quite a lot. But, so what's next? This bit's a little tedious, I'm not gonna lie. Usually it is. It can be tedious, but it can also be fun, because you can learn moves and find key moves that... There's nothing more satisfying than finding your own combos, honestly. And the only way to do that is going through your move lists and finding the key components in your moves list. So for instance, like say I go through these moves one by one, so I go to Whiplash and okay, I see, okay, that's not a true combo, so it's kind of garbage, and I go to the next one and so on so on. Now what you'll find is, so you can find your true combos this way. I'll just show you this one move that's really good. Now this is one of the key moves in my move list. How do I know this? Well, as you can see, this is not a true combo, but it is a corkscrew move. So this tells me this is a good move for linking onto launchers. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a launcher. Launcher. Oh, completely missed. Do a launcher into that. Now that's decent damage. And I'm like, oh, okay, that does not bad damage. Let's see how much damage that actually does. So I'll take him off guarding. That's 47 damage from 3 button presses. That is good. So this tells me, wow, this is one of my key moves that I should use after launchers. So then I take a note of it, and then I'm like, alright, so I found one key move. And this is how you learn your character. Go through each move, no matter how tedious it might seem. But it might seem tedious in the beginning, but honestly, it does get fun. So here's another key combo. As you can see, not safe. But how do I know it's key? Well, I'm looking at the button presses and I'm like, okay, so it's 1 and 4, 2, 1. Alright. Oh look, 1 and 4, 2 again. Huh, 1 and 4, 2. This is like a running theme here. So I check it out. So I check out I check out what it's all about. And I'm like, okay, so there's different stuff you can do. So what else have we got? We've got, oh, and the low. Oh, so this is a mix-up, because you can choose to go low or you can choose to go mid. Maybe I shouldn't get into this. Next video again, I'll get into priorities on punches and kicks, into high-low mids and a bit of frame data, things like that. But anyways, I am kind of waffling at this point, but my main point is, go through your move list, okay? Find your key moves. You'll know which ones are key, and then when you find your key moves, combo them together, see what works, see what doesn't, see how the damage is, take notes of the damage. This is the first step you want to take. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, but if you really get over that first hurdle of tediousness, sorry, don't know how to English, but it gets super fun and rewarding, so yeah. Anyways, I probably went on long enough. I'll show you one example of a combo. Since I keep going on about finding your own combos, I'll give you one example of a combo I found day one. This took me, I don't know, about an hour, just over an hour of work to find. Sorry, I'll put him back on guard. I don't know why I did that. But this took me about an hour and a bit of work. And finally I came up with, so there's a move here. You can go, oh, sorry. This should be launching him, I don't know why it's not. I think this only launches on counter hit actually, and that's why. We'll get into that another time, but I'll do another launcher. So yeah, like, I've showed you already, one of my basic combos. You've got launcher, into corkscrew, into finisher. That is the formula. Launcher, corkscrew, finisher. Sample combos will tell you almost everything. Like, so I'll tell you a launcher, and you've got several launchers. You've got, well, this doesn't launch on block, but like for instance, say he's not, like, I know this is useless, but here's another launcher which can catch people on occasion off guard. And then you can go into your finisher. There's always sorry, I'm absolutely losing my mind here. It is like a million degrees. But yeah, there's a formula. You just need to find your character's formula and find your character's moves which make up that formula, and then you'll be fine. Like, yeah, there's the other thing. Yeah, this, usually that first hit on counter, which means if your opponent misses you or moves forward, then that usually hits, and then you've got, you know, combo. But anyways, I don't want the video to be too long, so this was just a bare bones basics. For getting started, this is just picking a character and how to find your initial moves, what your useful tools are, a bit on notation. Definitely look up notation for fighting games if you're not sure. The down back, down forward, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, what do they mean? Because they will come in handy. So this has been 101. I will be posting a 102 video at some point soon, and I'll be going over blocking / punishing. So how to block highs, how to block lows, what do you do when you block highs and lows, how to punish it, how to find what moves punish it. So that means we'll have to go a little bit into frame data, but I don't want to bog you down too much in advanced stuff. So I'll keep the frame data stuff to a minimum and just try and explain in layman's. But yeah, and I want to go over the while standing state. It's super important. This crouch, there is a third state you don't know about. So you got standing, crouching, and a third state. I'm going to go over that. It's really good for blocking lows and then punishing low blocks. There's not many ways to punish it other than using this stance. So I'm going to show you this. So, yep, until then, I'll see you later, and remember to smash all the appropriate buttons if you want to see more. I stream sometimes on Twitch, twitch.tv/GrableStefano, if you want to see some average gameplay. But yeah, I'm going to try my best to educate some brand new players, because I know Tekken 7's been getting a lot of hype behind it. And yeah, so I think it's important for pro players to understand that not everyone comes from a fighting game background, and they should go over the basic, bare bones, the first thing you do. They should go step by step what a brand new player picking up a fighting game should do, and I hope this video's done just that. But if not, and if you have questions, I'll do my best to answer. Just leave them in the comments. But yeah, until then, cheers.